Man, I tell you, this is a mess in Washington. The Washington football team, the NFL franchise in Washington, they're a complete mess. The organization is a complete dysfunctional mess. You have an owner who, at this point, at this time, I will say he's derelict in his duty to operate a franchise. He's sailing across the seven seas in his gigantic yacht. Nothing wrong with that. But he has people running his franchise as far as the day-to-day operations that were engaged in activity that is frat boy style. It's juvenile. You have 15 women that come out and one went on record and they all basically kind of said that they were being sexually harassed. They come there to do their jobs and they're constantly being, harassed and gawked at and looked at and talked about in lewd type of acts. I mean, the investigation is ongoing, but the team has hired a law firm to investigate themselves, and the NFL said that they were going to wait to this law firm that Dan Snyder hired to see what their findings are. I mean, I don't see how Dan Snyder can actually continue to be the principal owner of this team. And yeah, I know Robert Kraft was doing some lewd stuff too, but Robert Kraft has a functional operation. Dan Snyder's teams have been dysfunctional, garbage, terrible. 3 playoff appearances in 20 years since he's owned the team. He's hired Ron Rivera to pretty much coach the team, which is a good hire, I think. Solid hire. But he's the coach. I know he's signed up to be I know he's the final word on all football operations, but is he involved in the administrative work? Is he involved with scheduling secretaries? Is he going to run your HR department, which you only have one person running and head of the HR department? I mean, that I don't know, that one person in charge of the HR department who's handling everything. That don't seem to be. You got people in high-ranking positions preying on women. You have a voice of your team saying disgusting stuff in regards to women. This is 2020. You can't do that anymore, fellas. You can't engage in this type of activity. I mean, these women are just trying to go to work. You have a coach that's involved with a employee at the facility and a player involved with the same employee, and the coach and that player are tag teaming. Now all of a sudden that player, which was Kareem Big, Kareem, whatever his name is, just another guy in my opinion, I'm sorry. But you got this guy in competition with the coach, not only for playing time, but for extracurricular activities with a female employee. Look, man. I'm not making this up. Just read it. I'm not making it up. Then you're in the middle of a name change, a rebranding, and I guess poor Coach Ron had to handle all that. I know he's probably up to the task, but he's there to coach. Who's the general manager? I mean, their lack of staff, lack of organizational control. It's bad times in Washington, D.C. Maybe they should just contract that team and put their players on other people's rosters. Maybe they just say, okay, that's it. We've been trying to deal with this Washington thing for years under this guy. He doesn't seem to learn. He's incapable of learning. He seems to be checked out. He's just counting checks. I mean, is he having any fun owning a team? He's not very popular in D.C. He's despised. And the reason why he's despised is because he took a once proud franchise and pretty much ran it into the ground. He ran it into the ground. People are ashamed to even say they're Redskins fans. The only ones you have right now are the diehards. And you don't even listen to your fans and what they suggestions may be. He doesn't even address his fans. He doesn't even come out to say a letter to say thank you. He's not personable. So it's odd in that sense. It could be just his personality. He might not be comfortable in front of cameras and making speeches. I get that. It's personal. It's a personality thing. And I don't hold him, I don't begrudge him of that. But you took a once proud organization. Your crime is you took a once proud organization and you made a laughing stock out of this team. A laughing stock. No Super Bowls. No playoff appearances. No relevancy whatsoever in the league. A flagship organization ruined by one guy who don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He put a gentleman in for 10 years, Bruce Allen, whose record is for 10 years held on to this job. How did he hold on to a job for 10 years and he couldn't win? He just couldn't win. Terrible player acquisitions, terrible trades, terrible picks in free agency. You got former players taking shots. They took the check, by the way, though, these former players. They did take the check, right? They cashed it, yeah. But they're taking shots. Josh Norman is taking shots. He was awful last year. LeVar Arrington has been taking shots. This is not good. This is not good for the league. And if it comes out that they ran a frat house type organization, then Dan Snyder needs to be stripped of the team. You're no longer principal owner. Maybe you're just a minority owner. And get somebody in here, maybe a Fred Smith or the CEO of Amazon, and they can come in here and take this team and hire football people and keep Ron Rivera in place and let Ron Rivera basically do everything he needs to do, but hire real football people to get this team back to prominence. Because it is ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on. I mean, sometimes I'm afraid to even look at the internet or look at Redskins news and find out what's going on. I don't see anything what they say as far as players. All I see is scandal, 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 scandal. It's all Washington is, a scandal. It's bad for business. He needs to be removed. Dan Snyder is bad for business for this team. He needs to be removed once this investigation. If it turns up that he's doing that worst stuff that's came out, he needs to go. Look, take a back seat, brother. Sail off to the 7 seas. And we got a new principal owner in here that can get the team turned around. Or better yet, sell. You can probably get about $6 billion for the team. I think they're worth about $4. See if you can get $6 billion. And cash out. Get out the club. That's probably why the only reason why he's still in, because he wants to be in the club. He wants to be in the club. He wants to say, I'm an NFL owner. Well, you can still say you're an NFL owner. You're just a minority owner. You can't be a principal owner. You've shown that you are not capable of taking this jewel of a franchise to the next heights. I've seen the Patriots rise up. I've seen Green Bay rise back up. I've seen Arizona rise up for a few years. I have yet to see the once proud Washington franchise continue to rise up above the fray and all this other garbage that's going on. I just don't understand. I don't understand it at all. The NFL is built on people going from the bottom to first. Look at San Francisco. Perfect example. If you draft right, if you hire the right personnel, you hire the right people, you put the right people in place and get the right players. So it's no excuse. It's no excuse to be this bad for decades. Unless there's derelict of duty going on. So you hire a man, kept him in this position for 10 years who didn't do anything. He bungled the Kirk Cousins contract. It just goes on. The list goes on and on and on. What can you do? But I guess you have to look. Oh man, they got so much stuff going on. You got name changes. You got, what are they going to do with the name? I know there's a name out there floating around that people seems to like. I know they like the Red Wolves. I've also heard the name Squadron, Red Tails. I think Squadron sounds good. Can you imagine going against the Eagles or the Cowboys and Giants and say Dwayne Hopkins air raid the squadron, led the squadron to air raid his NFC East rivals. That's a good name. I like that. Squadron. That's a name. Squadron. I'm gonna call you the squad. The squadron. All right, take it easy. I'm out. Peace.